How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. There are a few people lying to you about crypto right now, and it's kind of crazy some of the stuff that they're saying. Jamie Dimon, Elizabeth Warren, even some crypto influencers are getting stuff wrong right now. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn that bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this one as soon as they come out. I've been making so many videos too. I think I made 4 today, 5. I'm not even sure. I think this is the last one I'm posting. But if there's more news, I publish new thoughts on crypto all the time. I publish news on crypto all the time. So I think we're one of the channels that doesn't care how much news there is out there. I'm always willing to make another video if I think it's relevant. Also, beware in the comment section. I just started allowing comments again where I didn't have to approve them. With this many videos, it's too hard to approve, and I want to make sure that we get as many comments in there as possible. Now, the scammers have cut down a lot because I wasn't allowing any of them to get through for the last 2, 3, 4 weeks. Now I'm going to try just manually deleting some, so just be careful down there. Also, while you're down there too, there's a link to Blofin. They have a new kind of campaign where if you use the link underneath the video, you can get first deposit bonuses, and they can be pretty significant, from 20 USDT to 150 USDT, and you can also get up to $5,000 in future bonuses. So definitely check this out. It's for the first so many members, so you want to be first each day, and they have over 270 trading pairs. They use fire blocks as well, which makes them a really safe DEX or centralized exchange, I should say, SEX compared to other cryptocurrency exchanges. And there's also a link down there to Margex. I just opened a couple positions there just today. And if you haven't tried out Margex, I think it's really important to have multiple exchanges ready at any one time because you never know when one's going to go down. Margex is awesome. They allow you to use different kinds of collateral for different assets, and it's one of the best exchanges out there, in my opinion, for crypto trading. So check out both those underneath the video. Now, the cool thing about Margex is too, they're super quick to respond. Like if you have some kind of issue, just go over to your wallet or referral. If you have a question, you get actual people right away to respond to you, compared to I've used other exchanges where I've had issues for months and I couldn't get through to anyone. Even ones I supposedly was supposed to work with, and they just I couldn't reach them. Margex, they're super quick to respond. They're cool people. Also, they just announced that they're going to list Caspa. They told me because I requested it. You can go down, and if you're part of a community, let's say you really like Grok for some reason or some other cryptocurrency, you can request it here. And basically, if there's enough volume, if there are enough people that want it, they'll go and list it. So it's really cool. The best way to make sure that that actually happens is to actually trade on the platform, get some assets on there, show them that you trade, and then request it. Most likely that's the best thing. And then I've been making full videos every single day when the market opens for my Patreon group. If you want to check that out, there's a link underneath the video. Now, crypto is down a little bit here today. You can see Bitcoin closer to 43 than 44. Now, am I worried because we're cooling off a little bit since yesterday? I mean, some people do get worried at moves even like $700, $800. We are down over $1,000 from where we went to the peak yesterday. I'm not worried. I think this is natural. I mean, when you zoom out, we have been exploding. Like just over the last year, it's up consolidation, up consolidation, up consolidation. And almost all these times we do fall down a little bit, right? You go up, you consolidate down a little bit, you go back up. And even here where we moved up to 37, we consolidated there for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then moved up again. So if we consolidate in the lower 40s, I think that's totally normal. That's part of the reason I use 10x leverage instead of something more aggressive. I actually used 11 or 12x because my liquidation price is right under 40. I think we could consolidate right around 42, 40,000, something like that, and then move back up. Now, do I know that? No, but I am making some bets, and you can see here that we have had some longs liquidated. We've had some shorts liquidated. I saw someone say that we had 500 million in longs liquidated today. I see 107. I'm not really sure where they're looking at, but we are getting some liquidations because people are pretty aggressive right now. People are getting a little bit greedy after we've seen such a big move recently. Now, I am actually buying Bitcoin in a way. I said payment in Bitcoin because I received a payment in Bitcoin. I wanted to make sure that I told you this. I received a big payment in Bitcoin, and I'm just keeping it in Bitcoin. I told the Patreon group, like, I could sell this. This is essentially like me buying because I could just as easily sell it because it was for something that I did. It was for some work. And I just took payment in Bitcoin. It was a large amount too. And I'm just keeping it because I fully feel like it's going to be worth more in a year, 18 months, 24 months than it is right now. Now, if that goes down 10, 20%, I'm okay with that. So I am buying Bitcoin. For everyone that's wondering, is it too late to accumulate? No, but if you have a short-term mindset, if you're worried about whether Bitcoin goes down to 40,000 when it's at 43,000, you're probably in the wrong space. You can't handle the volatility. If that stops you from buying now, I'd be careful. Now, like I said, I am buying right now. I think long-term, it's the best idea, but you have to make your own decision. Now, alts are starting to run a little bit here today. Bitcoin down a little bit on the 24-hour. Alts actually moving pretty good, like Ethereum up near 2,400. I put on a long yesterday, and at the time it actually went down a little bit right after I opened it, just a 3x long over on Blofin, and it's up 14% here today. Ethereum's running pretty well now. We're getting like a mini little alt season. Now, I've had some people ask me if I was going to respond to this. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon, the only true case for Bitcoin is for criminals, drug traffickers, money launderers, tax avoidance. This is interesting though. Since 2000, regulators fined banks 7,400 times, totaling fines of $380 billion. Banks should stay silent. And they also got community noted. Less than 1% of the trillions transacted annually in crypto are illicit. The UN estimates that there's about 2 to 5% of global GDP used for illicit activities and money laundering through the traditional banking system and cash. The other thing is, Jamie Dimon and JP Morgan, I believe they just had to pay about $290 million for some payment to the Epstein victims. So like, if you want to talk about someone that is horrible, that does illegal things, illicit activities, Jamie Dimon, the big banks, those are the people you have to worry about, right? Bitcoin in and of itself does nothing. Of course, you can send it across the world in a second, but it's also trackable. So anyone that's still talking about this just doesn't get it, right? They just don't get it. And do I think Jamie Dimon is saying this because he actually hates Bitcoin? No, I think there's something much bigger going on. I made a video about it earlier today. I think he's just trying to force people to use his business, to use JP Morgan for custody services. Because later, I found out, this is actually 2 months ago, they pushed this out, that if they think you're making a payment related to crypto assets, they'll decline the payment. If you'd still like to invest in crypto assets, you can find a different bank or provider instead. But you could be sending your money to a fraud or a scam. Now, I know people that use JP Morgan Chase for cryptos, like to go buy on Coinbase. There's no problem there. Like, they haven't stopped those payments. But I think this is basically so that when they have their own custody services, they can come forward and say, hey, we're not super comfortable with you sending your crypto or your money other places to buy crypto, but you can go through our private wealth and you can sign up for that. I mean, the amount of two-faces in the banking industry are massive. I mean, we also have Elizabeth Warren saying North Korea is using Bitcoin to fund its nuclear weapons program. Yeah, right. I mean, I guess they could, right? You can invest in anything and make money to fund stuff, but that's just so far-fetched. I mean, the fact is, Elizabeth Warren is talking her book too. I'm not really sure her angle as much. Maybe she's just tied in with some of the big banks. But the fact is, these people are so out of the know, it's nuts. They're lying to you. They're lying to the general public because the general public doesn't get it yet. Now, they will get it once their financial advisors start talking to them. Once Bitcoin's prices start to move up, maybe they'll do a little bit more research. Bitcoin ETF talks with the SEC have advanced to key details, according to sources at Reuters. We also have some people saying that Bitcoin is, the interest on Bitcoin is spiking. This is Google Trends data. Now, I'm not sure where this YouTuber got this, Crypto Rover. I like Crypto Rover, but I'm not sure where he got this because I looked it up, and Bitcoin, the search term, really hasn't moved up much. Like it kind of fluctuates on a weekly basis. It fluctuates up and then comes back down. Like on the weekends, I think it moves up a little bit. So I'm not sure exactly what they were looking at. It wasn't even this spike because it was from this time period here. So I think this is actually more bullish when you look at this, because the fact is we aren't in a blow off top scenario where retail's really looking into Bitcoin. Now, keep in mind, every cycle, I think it's going to change because there are more people that know about Bitcoin, but there's still going to be people that search for it, right? There are people that want to know the price, so they search Bitcoin, right? And we have not gone to any kind of significant peak. We're actually just still pretty far down. We've come up since the bear market a little bit, but not much. So this is actually really good. This isn't retail really FOMOing in yet. I think this is institutions FOMOing in at this point, buying significant amounts. And we can also see just whale wallets in general. This is the Bitcoin rich list. They're FOMOing in. I've shown some of these before, but this whale continues to buy multiple times a day. I mean, I looked this month, they bought 40 times. The average buy size is about 105 Bitcoin. So they're just smashing buy 40 times over 7 days. They're just buying a huge amount. This wallet here started back in 2022, and they've been buying intermittently too, just 300 here, 300 there, and they started buying again over the last about week and a half for the first time in 3 or 4 months. This wallet literally just bought in September, bought one time, and is just sitting on it since then. Like there are people that come in or transfer, and it's difficult because you don't know where they bought it, when they bought it, or anything like that. But there are wallets that will get set up, or addresses that crypto sent to, they just sit on 16,000 Bitcoin and then just don't touch them for a long time. This person set up all these wallets back towards the bottom, honestly, like in November of 2022. Let's open one of these up. There were a bunch of wallets set up, and they bought at 20,000. And literally, I assume they're all from the same person, because 11.2, 11.2, 11.2, 11.2, 11.2, all these opened on the same day and set up with 10,000 Bitcoin, probably one person. And yeah, they're just sitting on them. Haven't really touched them. Maybe made a few small deposits here or there, but really nothing to be concerned about, nothing large. But there are new wallets coming in all the time. And of course, there are people selling, right? That's why price moves a little bit. Of course, there are some liquidations too, but it's small potatoes compared to some of these whales buying. And honestly, I haven't seen a lot of these whales that have been buying heavily. None of them are selling right now. And it makes sense. When you look at the Bitcoin cycle, this would be one of the worst times to sell. Usually you want to buy. Historically, it's been a really good time to buy 6 months before the halving, and then sell about 18 months after the halving. So 6 months before the halving was last month, right before we made this big move up. We were right around 25,000, like literally last month. I think we've moved up that much. Let's see here. And then the best time to sell would be about 23 months from now. So yeah, if you look here, I guess it was 2 months ago now. We moved from 26,000 up. Last month, we were still 37,000. So we are moving a little bit earlier than usual. And certain cryptos are moving earlier than usual too. Like some cryptos are just going insane right now. Bonk is up 33% here today. Over the last 90 days, it's up an insane amount. Like it went from nothing to $95 million of volume a day. Just nuts. Over the last 30 days, it's up 14x. And it was up a lot before that as well. CDeFi is one that I've talked about a lot. You know, some people give me a hard time because I keep on talking about CDeFi and they want to see something that hasn't pumped, which I did a video talking about some newer cryptocurrencies that are even smaller than CDeFi. But I pointed this out around $1.10 was my first time. And it's up almost 3x since then. So I've been buying even in the mid twos. I was buying just a few weeks ago. Just over Thanksgiving, I was buying a decent amount of CDeFi, and it just continues to run. There are other cryptos that are running too. If you want to see more of the videos, that I make on different cryptocurrencies and ones that I'd buy. You can hit subscribe. But overall, I think this is a pretty strong market. Seeing a little bit of a pullback on Bitcoin, totally normal. I mean, over the last 90 days, it's up 70%. And that was after it was already up a lot year to date before that. Some altcoins are running too. I mean, Solana up 8%, just a fantastic day. Let me know your thoughts on this market though. Again, I think people are trying to lie to you. People are trying to get in. People are trying to set up custody services. They say that that's the only safe way to do it. Elizabeth Warren's lying to you. There are influencers that are getting some stats wrong too. I'm not saying that they're lying to you, but the demand is picking up. But this is nowhere close to a blow off top, in my opinion. I mean, this would be insane if people think that this is the highest we'll go. That's just nuts. But I do think this is a good time to be dollar cost averaging if you can. But it's never a time to go all into the market. I just don't believe in that. Sometimes I'll maybe say all into the market to represent like going heavily into the market. But the fact is, I think it does make sense to always have some cash on the sidelines to be able to dollar cost average in case you see a good deal, or maybe you just want to buy some new cryptocurrency. It always makes sense to have some money on the sidelines, in my opinion. But let me know your thoughts underneath the video. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. And again, you can check out the links to Margex and Blofin as well if you want to start trading.